that real hip hop.
Y'all know how we do.
You're listening to Philly's own Matthias, aka Mr. 16 Bars. That real hip hop.
We try to tell people that Philly is a special breed. They hate to see us on top, they hate to see us on. They hate to see us come up, they hate we on. They hate the moves that we make because it's made to break them. We give them knowledge on tracks and hope our words can save them. I guess it's hard to give props when you know you lesser. So we right on your heels, I hope you feel the pressure. Rappers taking a roll, my shoes will never fit them. Before you come at a king, I let my soldiers get.
Do we have time for one more? Do we have time for one more? Are you ready? No, I mean, are you really ready? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remember Zion. Up by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remember Zion. So let the wicked carry us away in captivity, requiring of us a...
We're now joined by the amazingly talented Daniel O'Donnell. Daniel, welcome to Philly on the Rise. How are you?
Thank you very much, Mike. It's nice to be able to talk with you. Yes, I'm delighted to be here and delighted to be on with you.
Yes. You have a tour going on presently, so we thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us. Your career, you have sold over millions and millions of albums. But take us back in the beginning. Your career does span close to 50 years, but again, take us back to the beginning. You started in your sister's band.
That's right, in 1981. So I suppose it's this January coming, it'll be 43 years. I got a bit of a shock there when you said it's nearly 50 years. I thought I was older than I was. But yeah, 43 years now in January. I started, her name is Margot. And I started, she had a great career and still sings a bit, you know, but not as much as she used to. And I had traveled with her for a couple of years in her band. And then in 1983, I made my first record. And that was the beginning. I started a group then at home that summer. And from one thing to another, you know, it's been an amazing journey. Down through the years at different times, different things happened that took me to the next level. I suppose here in the States, although we'd been coming, you know, to do shows, and we'd been to Philadelphia a few times in the 90s, it really was in 2002, we had a show aired on public television. And that sort of brought us to a new audience, you know. And now we have shows on every Saturday night on RFD TV, and even though it's I suppose only started a couple of years ago, this station or this show on RFD, it's amazing the amount of people that watch these shows and then in turn come out to the concert, you know. So it'll be great to get. We're at the Keswick Theatre, which I don't know how far that is from Philadelphia, to be honest.
Not far at all. It's not far at all. It's about 30 minutes or so from the Philly area.
Is that all
everyone
right?
knows.
Yeah,
everyone knows where the...
I have some cousins there coming up from Bayonne, New Jersey. And so it mustn't be very far from Bayonne either. I'm not sure, but I don't know. They're
Bayonne is
traveling
kind of
up.
like North Jersey, so you're almost maybe an hour or so away.
Is that it?
From the
Yeah.
Keswick area.
I have a lot of relations in Bayonne, you know, because my mother had three aunts and two uncles who emigrated to Bayonne. And my grandfather, although he was brought up in Ireland, he was born in Bayonne in 1886. So there's a connection there with Bayonne.
Yeah, understood, understood. Let's get back to your career because you have done some amazing things throughout the past 43 years. So many awards and accolades you have won, including the Donegal. Did I pronounce that correctly? The
Yeah,
Donegal
close
Award.
enough. Yes, that's not too bad now for a man that's in Philadelphia. It's the Donegal Person of the Year, I suppose you're talking about.
Correct. Yeah, I think it was 1989 thereabouts.
That's right. Yes, I know. I was only young. I was the youngest, and still am the youngest person to ever got that award. And that's an award that's given by the Donegal Association in Dublin, and it's very prestigious, I suppose, among ourselves in Donegal, because just recently I nominated somebody for this year that I think should get it. It's just somebody that is from Donegal that has, done, I suppose, well, or done things to promote Donegal or whatever. And I was honoured, I mean, to get it in 1989. I suppose I would love to be getting it now because I think I was too young, to get it. I hadn't done enough, but I had done a lot, I suppose. I was very fortunate. I had a lot of, I had once, and about 1986, even though I started my own band in 83 and the record and all, it took a few years before things just clicked for whatever reason. I don't know why they clicked in 86. And then all after that, I just had a great successful time. And in 89, I had a lot happen. I had my own TV series in Ireland, and I won Entertainer of the Year and all sorts of things. So the Donegal Person of the Year just was the icing on the cake. And although I've been fortunate, as you said, to get a lot of awards, I hold the Donegal Person of the Year as the most special of all.
Yeah, I could definitely see why. Even now, you're still involved heavily in community and philanthropic work around the world. Talk to us about what you're doing in Romania.
Well, the Romanian thing is that was something that I did in 1998. Got involved with a charity called the Romanian Challenge Appeal, and it was to rehouse. They were trying to rehouse 500 orphans that were in a very, very difficult situation, in a very bad accommodation. And I got involved through a neighbour of mine who worked with the charity, and she came home after doing 3 weeks voluntary work and started to raise money, have functions, and we're in a very small community at home, so I got involved with her doing whatever, as we all did, not just me, but a lot of people. And then her daughter and some other friends of hers went out, and we were sitting one day looking at pictures of the children that were in the orphanage. And I had been given a song called Give a Little Love some time before by a couple who have written a lot of songs for me, and I hadn't recorded it. But when I was looking at the pictures, the words of the song came sort of to my mind. It was like it was relating to these faces. And I asked the writers and I asked my management and the record company if we could record the song for the proceeds to go to the charity, and we did. And then I went out to see what the money would be used for, and I realized then that a record was nothing in relation to what they needed to do. So I just started speaking about the charity, and I wrote an autobiography, and the money from the autobiography went to the charity. They had wanted me to write an autobiography, and I said, I really don't want to do that. And then they said, well, somebody else might write it. And then when this came up, I thought there was an ideal way to do it, So I had written a small, a kind of a book before, about my life. But you never think yourself that you have anything to tell because it's your life, But anyway, then the charity got very involved, and they rehoused all of the children were moved out of the big orphanage. It was said that they would never contribute, that they would never be of any. This is terrible to this, but I'm only just saying what we were told, that they would never contribute to society. But a number of them got married. They found jobs for them. They worked, and there was a big factory came into Surrey, and some of them worked in the factory. Some of them needed care and will all their lives. But there was a number of houses built then, to have better accommodation for them. There was a home for physically challenged children as well. So they did an awful lot of work, and I felt very blessed to be involved in it. Now, I'm not actively involved now because eventually everything was given back to the Romanian people themselves to run, although they are overseen by the people in the charity. But, ultimately, I think every country needs to take hold of their own situation.
Of course, of course, of course. Amazing work you have done.
Mm.
In your career, over 10 million records sold, a career that spans close to 40 years, awards, accolades. What is your biggest accomplishment as you look back over your career?
Well, I just started singing because I loved it. And I still love it. I still get a great feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment from singing. And I don't know, it's very hard to pick one thing that you would say, well, that's the greatest thing ever. I mean, certainly, although it's not about my career, being involved with the children in Romania was something that I feel very blessed to have been able to be involved in. And there was people did a lot more than me, but I suppose when you're well known or when you have a bit of celebrity, your voice is louder. There are people that work on the ground day in, day out, and they raise money. But I suppose when somebody like me speaks, so many people hear and so many people react that it was a great opportunity. So I suppose if there was something special that I could say, well, that was fulfilling and worth everything that ever I've been involved in. I think to see the children doing better was a great thing, But career-wise, there have been many things, that I never thought that I would tour as much as I did. I never thought. I just say to them every day in the show, I never thought, because the show is on every Saturday night on RFD on the cable channel. I said, I never thought growing up in Donegal that I would be on television every Saturday night in the United States of America.
Amazing,
It's amazing.
amazing. Music has definitely been a blessing to you and your life and your career. It has given you so much. Name the top thing that music has given Daniel O'Donnell.
Well, it's allowed me to meet a lot of people. I meet people after every show, and I think if every singer or entertainer knew what they would get from meeting the people who come to the show, I think everybody would do it. The fulfillment that you get, and people that have enjoyed what you do, and that it means something to them. It's fantastic to be able to speak to the people after the show, and I suppose that no matter where I go, I'll recognize people in the audience because of meeting them after the concert.
Well, Daniel, once again, amazing career you've had. Congratulations on all of your success up to this point. We're quite sure that there's more to come. You're on a tour now, taking you through different parts of the country. You're at some point coming to the Philly area. You mentioned it earlier. Are you ready to get another Philadelphia cheesesteak?
What's that?
Are you ready to get another Philadelphia cheesesteak when you come to the Philly area?
Oh yes, we're going to be there on Friday. I don't know what date Friday is. Would it be the 9th?
Correct. Yes, yes.
The 9th, is it? and we're looking forward to it. I was there years ago. I think I did a show at the Keswick years ago. So it's lovely to get back and do a concert there. And I mean, there's a lot of I came years ago too. I was in the Irish Centre in Philadelphia and did other shows. And there's a Barney and Carmel Boyce are a couple from Donegal that helped us greatly when we did our shows in that area. And I'm sure I'll see them on Friday. I'm hoping that I'll meet them at the show. But we always had a nice time when we got there. So looking forward to seeing everybody that's able to come on Friday to the Keswick.